After 3 days at Merus Adventure Park, our adventure was quickly coming to an end. But before heading home, we still had one more day to explore some of the most incredible terrain Texas has to offer. Over the past few days, we had driven along canyon rims, navigated rocky trails, and experienced places that felt nothing like the Texas we thought we knew. But day 3 still had a few surprises waiting for us. This is our final day at Merus Adventure Park. I'm Frank with Storm Overland Adventures, and this is our final day at Merus Adventure Park. Waking up in the canyon never got old, and while our time at Merus was starting to wind down, we still had one full day left to explore. So we fired up the Jeeps, left camp behind, and set out to see what the canyon had in store for us. Our first trail of the day was back 40. And it didn't take long before we found our first obstacle. At first glance, this obstacle doesn't look like much, but the series of deep moguls had a way of unloading tires and testing suspension travel. From inside the Jeep, it feels much different than what it looks like on camera. And from outside, it made for some pretty great views. Apparently, we were a little too focused on the trail, because we managed to drive right past one of the stops we had planned to check out. After realizing our mistake, we turned around and headed back for a closer look. When we finally reached the cave, we were surprised by just how large it was. Pictures don't really do it justice. One of the first things we noticed was the temperature. Even though it was warm outside, the air inside felt noticeably cooler.
It gets dark. We should have brought the miner's light.
We spent a little time exploring the cave and taking it all in.
That's pretty cool. What do you think, Stormy Girls? You want to go further?
But with Storm along for the adventure and only the lights we had with us, we decided not to venture too far inside.
Oh, Storm. Wait for me. Wait for me. No. Yeah. You ain't making me crawl through that section.
If we had brought our miner's lights and left Storm back at camp, we probably would have explored quite a bit further. Still, it was a pretty unique stop and definitely worth turning around for. After leaving the cave behind, we continued deeper into the canyon. next trail started out with a steep descent down into a dry creek bed.
Okay, start coming passenger. Like, pretty hard passenger. Yeah, keep coming. Keep coming.
As we continued down the trail, it quickly became clear that this one was something special. In fact, by the end of the day, it had become our favorite trail of the entire trip. What made it stand out was how much variety it packed into a single trail. It felt like a combination of everything we had experienced over the last 3 days. There were sections that reminded us of the creek beds we had driven earlier in the trip, views that showcased the canyon's incredible geology, and just enough obstacles to keep things interesting. If someone had asked us to pick a single trail that captures what Merus is all about, this would probably be the one. As the trail progressed, we climbed out of the creek bed on an off-camber section.
22 degrees off camber. Gotta love it. Turn passenger. Okay.
From there, the trail changed completely.
There's a pretty good ledge there towards the bottom, so Jake, take it slowly. So we're here on Lonesome Dove, and I like it. There's a lot of off-camber stuff, a lot of hill climbs, a lot of blind hill climbs, but it is definitely a trail that's worth doing.
As much fun as we were having, we knew there were still plenty of trails we weren't going to experience on this trip. With a long drive home ahead of us, we decided to save some of the park's more extreme trails for another visit. Honestly, that was okay with us. The trails we had experienced so far already provided plenty of challenge and adventure. And if this trail was any indication, Merus still has a lot more to offer. We were already talking about making another trip back someday.
other trails on the itinerary do you have after this one?
I think that Deep Creek, and that's it.
Depending on what time we finish with Deep Creek, we can find like a little trail, another little trail to do.
Yeah, that feels a little strange going over that part.
Yep, just keep it moving.
Hey, you can't rush me. That's when mistakes are made.
Yeah, I thought you were perfect. You don't make them.
Well, we found that out yesterday that that's not true.
Is this still Lonesome Dove?
Yeah, it's a long one.
Our final trail of the day was Deep Creek. Compared to some of the trails we had run, this one was much rockier and considerably rougher.
Yeah, I don't like this one. Is it almost over?
There's still a fair bit. I think we're over halfway done now.
The constant bumps and uneven terrain made it one of Erica's least favorite trails of the trip. And honestly, I could see her point. The non-stop bouncing around was wearing on us. I think if we had run this trail first thing in the morning, we probably would have enjoyed it even more. But after a full day in the canyon, it definitely felt more demanding than it otherwise would have. Even so, it was a fitting way to wrap up our final day on the trails. After a full day, we made our way back to camp for one final evening in the canyon. Over the last few days, we had explored incredible trails, experienced scenery we never expected to find in Texas, and created memories that will stay with us for a long time.
They do. They look delicious.
Trips like this are a reminder that sometimes the best adventures are closer to home than you think. And while our time at Merus was coming to an end, the memories, stories, and experiences will be coming home with us. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. We'll see you on the next one.